GIMP 3.0 is finally here, and the big question is, can it really replace Photoshop or Affinity Photo? I started out using Photoshop like everyone else. Then I found Affinity Photo, a one-time purchase with powerful features that gave Adobe a serious run for its money. But now it's time to test GIMP 3.0, and with a mod called PhotoGIMP, the UI feels almost identical to Photoshop. In this video, I'm recreating one of my actual YouTube thumbnails, originally made in Affinity, step by step using only GIMP, because great design doesn't need to be expensive. Let's see what GIMP 3.0 can really do, and with that said, let's jump in. Now let me show you how you guys can install the Photoshop customization mod for the GIMP 3.0. Now here on this website, which I will also put link in the video description down below, you will find install instructions for Linux as well as for Windows here. However, because I am on the Mac OS, the installation is a bit different. So here on the website, you will click here on the releases, and then down below you will find a file called photogimp.zip. Make sure that you click on this one and download it on your computer. Then open the Finder on Mac, and once you are here, make sure that you double left click to extract the file, and you should get the folder named 3.0. Now make sure that you copy this folder first of all, and then go to the Finder once again and click on Command Shift and G, and then paste in this command, library/application support/GIMP. And once you are here in this folder, you will have to replace this exact folder. So 3.0, right click on here and click on paste item. Now here it will ask you to replace, stop, or merge the copied folder. Here I will click on the replace. And once you've done that, you can simply now open the GIMP on your computer. And now I'm gonna try and replicate one of my thumbnails which I made in Affinity Photo inside GIMP 3.0. So if I open here the GIMP, you can already see a bit different splash screen compared to the default ones. Now here you will see welcome screen. I will click on create, and let's here click on create a new image. For my thumbnails, I use the width of 1920 and the height of 1080. Let's click on 40 here. So we have the canvas here, and now I will have to upload two of the images. So the first one is my thumbnail, which will act as the guide for the image, and then I will also add the image itself, so this one right here, which we will have to manipulate. Now here we can see on the bottom right we have the layers, which look very similar to the layout of Photoshop as well as the Affinity Photo. Now I'll try to just hide this one, and now I will have to just resize this image. So if I click on it, you can see that we can just pretty much drag it to wherever location we want. What's this next tool? So this one is rectangle select tool. Maybe if I click on the crop tool, maybe this one. What's this one? So this one is scale tool. So you can activate it by clicking on Command T. So Command T it is. So click on the layer and click Command T. Now I will just drag it here at the bottom. So just like this, and click on enter. Now we are pretty much done with our template here. Now let's modify the first image, which is this one. So here I will just make the canvas a bit smaller, and let's click on the first layer. So this one, and let's click here on the scale tool once again, and I will scale it down a bit. So just like this, and I will have to click on enter, and now just wait for it to finish. I will go back to 40 here so we can see clear view of our canvas. So for this image, we'll have to add the stroke around it, as you can see here on the reference image. Now I must admit that in the Affinity Photo, this is very easy to do. You can simply click on the layer here, click on the FX layer, and then just enable the outline. So it's that easy. Now let's try to do something similar here inside the GIMP. Now here I will just enable the layer, and we can maybe click here on the FX, but as you can see, this does nothing. Maybe if we click here on the layer, maybe we can click new layer, stack, mask, transform. Nothing really seems to do the thing. Maybe I'll just click on Zen and let's search for ask ChatGPT. How can I add an outline to an image in GIMP 3.0? So maybe this will help us tremendously. So several methods, stroke a selection. This is the first one. We have the expand selection, create a new layer. So maybe if I try to do this first method, stroke a selections. If I go back here to the Zen browser, we can click here on the layer and transparency, select the object. So I have to select it first. So layer, transparency, and then we have here alpha to selection. Now, once I've done that, I can click here on the select and click on grow. Here I will click on 12 pixels and click on OK. And then what I have to do here is to click a new layer and then click to fill the outline. So here I will click on the new layer. So maybe this, click on layer, OK. And then what we have to do here is to go back to ChatGPT. So edit, stroke selection, and choose solid color. Edit, stroke selection, and pick a custom here. I will go with the line, and we have the foreground color and click on stroke. So now you can see that we have this stroke around the image itself. So right now I will just have to merge these two layers together. So if I just remove this one and this one, I can also remove this one real quick. And now you can see how the stroke actually here looks like. So I think I will have to just modify this first image. So this one right here, to make it fit the exact dimensions here of the stroke. So here I will go back to this tool and make sure that I have the layer selected, of course. And now we can zoom in a bit. So 66, maybe just drag it just like this. And here now with these two layers selected, which are indeed visible, I will right click, and here I will click to new from visible. So right now we have new visible layer, and we can see here that this is indeed this layer right here. So this is what we created here. Now we have this first layer, and now you can see here that we will also have to just change the position here of this image. So here I think I have to go here and make sure that I have this visible layer selected. I will go here to this tool and click on the perspective. So Shift and P, and now I will just have to change the position of layers. So just like this, make sure that you align the edges with our template. So something like this. And now I will have to add the shadow to it as well. Now for the shadow, I will also ask just ChatGPT, how can I add shadow to an image in GIMP? So adding a shadow to an image or an object in GIMP 3.0 can be done easily using the drop shadow filter. So open your image, select the object, and then you have to create a new layer. And maybe if I try something else here, if I go here, maybe there under the filters will be an option. Maybe we have it here, light and shadow. Maybe we can add here drop shadow. So this is what I was actually looking for. And make sure that we remove this one and enable the foreground. And now what we can do, we can also here drag this slider. So for the shadow, and now we have the opacity set to 100, and the color opacity, which you can also change, by the way, here we have set to 0.5. So maybe if I increase that a bit, maybe if I uncheck this chain and change the position a little bit, so just like this, and maybe blur radius, increase that. So just like this, I think it looks fine. And I will click on OK. So we are pretty much done with our first image. Now what we will have to do here is to add the gradient. Now for the gradient, what I will do, I will click on the background right here, and let's find a tool which can add the gradient to the image. So we have fuzzy select, we have this one, we have rotate, we have this thing measure, we have the paintbrush, airbrush, pencil, we have clone, we have the gradient is right here. So I'll click on this, and what do we have to do here? Click drag to draw a gradient. So maybe I can just do like this, but how can I change the colors right now? So maybe I can go here, and now it looks okay, but we want to have more subtle colors here in the background. So how can I change the colors here for the gradient? So this is what we have selected. If I click on FX, maybe this can do the trick. It's not this thing. How can we position? Coloring is RGB. Oh, left color is red here. So maybe we can just go to white. Oh, so here is the setting to change the color. I think I will go to more bluish one, maybe something like this. And for this one, I will change it to also something more blue. Maybe we can even remove this pointer. So if I click on X, no, but maybe we can just change it to the blue once again. So there will be a nice contrast between the first one and the second one. So maybe just like this and maybe drag it over. Okay. And now for this left part of the image, we can just change the next color here, which is this blue. We can put it somewhere here and then change it to maybe more white. And I think we are pretty much done with our thumbnail. The one thing left is to just export the thumbnail. So if I go here to the file, we can click here on export, and now we have here untitled. I will call it thumbnail, and this is our result. I think it looks fine, but the only drawback is that we have a bit this border around the stroke and the image itself, but otherwise I think it looks also very, very nice. Now, yeah, this is pretty much the GIMP 3.0, all the features and everything. I must say that it's a bit tricky navigating all of the tools and the settings. I think that the Affinity Photo and Photoshop are much more user-friendly compared to the GIMP, but nevertheless, it's a free tool and you can't really complain with an open source image manipulation tool. So yeah, please let me know in the comment section what do you think about GIMP 3.0 and if you gave it a try. And with that said, if you guys haven't already, make sure that you smash up the like button on this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all around in the next one.